This is the book of Salakia. I meant to say, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6 to verse 8. And I'm going to start at verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Matthew 24 and 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. Matthew 24 and verse 8. And it reads through the Holy Scriptures. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Shalom, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And I say shalom to the Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson. And the title of the lesson is Matthew 24, verse 6 through verse 8. So yeah, we're definitely going to see the increasing of these wars and rumors of wars, especially that's taking place in the world today, with the nations and different nations rising up against one another, different armies of nations rising up against one another, and we're going to continue to see that increasing. Prime example, the Russian-Ukraine situation, North Korea versus South Korea, Japan, and the United States. Tensions are increasing. And what's taking place over there in the South China Sea, China versus Taiwan, China versus the United States over Taiwan as they're getting closer and closer to invading Taiwan, as the tensions of that is at an all-time high. And then the Israel-Palestine situation, tensions been escalating of that as well too. And then we've been seeing different escalations and tensions around the world as well too, as we continue to see that increasing. And this is Matthew 24 and verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, right? And that's what we're seeing. One nation rising up against another nation. One nation of armies rising up against another nation's armies. And kingdom against kingdom, right? Different kingdoms rising up against another kingdom. Another kingdom of armies and nations rising up against another different armies and kingdoms of nations. And that's what we're seeing, and we're going to continue to see that increasing. And there shall be famines, right? We're going to see the famines increasing in the latter days as well too. The pestilence, right? The pestilence, the famines, the plagues are going to increase. And earthquakes in diverse places, right? And that's what we've been seeing, the increasing of these earthquakes in diverse places. And they've been doing a lot of significant life-threatening damages on top of that as well too. And that's what we've been seeing. Prime example that what's been taking place over there in central Morocco earlier in the year, I believe in March, what happened over there in central Turkey, all the way into Syria, those heavy earthquakes. And then we've been seeing increasing of these earthquakes in diverse places. We've been seeing the tornadoes, the earthquakes, the floodings, especially what took place over there in Libya. So we're definitely seeing these, the famines, the pestilence, the plagues, the earthquakes in diverse places, the tornadoes, the earthquakes, the landslides, the mudslides, the famines, the pestilence, and the plagues. It's only going to increase. Matthew 24 and verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows, right? So these are increasings of beginning of sorrows of these categories of incidents that's taking place. You know, the wars and rumors, wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. The famines, the pestilence, the plagues, all these just going to continue to increase because we are in those increasing stages of beginning of sorrows of it's going to continue to increase. You know, the biblical signs, the major events, the global events. So all these are going to continue to increase of these increasing of these biblical signs that we are witnessing, seeing taking place in the world today. So with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson was edifying of Matthew 24, verse 6 through verse 8. So with that, I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And until next time, I will say shalom.